we're here today to carry on our topic around decluttering and a bit of minimalisation. And this morning we're going to be talking with member Nicki Cawood. Hi Nicki, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. You?
Good, good. Very well, thank you. And thanks for those that are joining us live today, and hello to everybody that's catching up with us later on at some point on Catch Up. So this is following on from what we started at the beginning of the week about how it's great to declutter and just get rid of all that junk. And it's not just about having a tidy house. It's so not about that. It's about having then the headspace to do more of what we want to be doing, which is having great time with our families and doing all the other things that we want to do, and also being able to work better, being able to work smarter because we're not thinking about all that clutter. So we talked a bit about clearing the clutter in our homes as well as in our business. So going through social media and unsubscribing to emails and all those sort of things. So today we're going to have a chat with Nicki because it was quite nice after Christmas, actually, when I said that I was going on this journey. Nicki too is as well. This is a big thing for her this year. So we're going to talk to Nicki about a few of the things that she's doing. She's a bit of a further way down the line than some of us are right now, because some of us have literally started doing this on Monday. And she's got some great tips for us as well. So I'll hand over to you, Nicki.
Where to start? I am a little bit further down the road. So I've been decluttering for years. And then at the end of last year, I realized that decluttering for years is actually a problem. Because if you're having to declutter and declutter and declutter, then you don't have the processes in place to stay clutter free. And we really looked at that as a family, and we were really moving towards minimalism. And I don't mean, you know, the minimalism porn that you get on Pinterest where everything's white with one plant in a basket, because that's for us not sustainable, but about only having the things that we need and we use and that we enjoy.
Yeah.
So we started with that in December mostly, and had a massive chuck out. And it was very therapeutic. We've managed to get rid of, drum roll please, the big box of cables that my husband has been hoarding for the last 20 some years, just in case. I think he took one look at my face and went, yeah, you're really serious, aren't you? It's going, isn't it? And it's gone. So now that we've managed to clear the junk drawer out, you know, we've got rid of that, we've cleared all the stuff underneath the bed, we've done the cupboards, the drawers, and all the rest of it. We've moved on to the next stage, which is getting rid of the things that we've decluttered responsibly and putting systems in place to make sure that it stays decluttered and that we enjoy the environment that we're in. So that's where we're at the moment. System,
cool.
Whatnot.
Excellent. And this is something, as I say, you've actually put into your 90-day plan, haven't you? This is actually part of your planning. So you spend a certain amount of each day concentrating on this. And I've got some articles that are going to go out in the hub as well, which have got some other great ideas in, even just things like it's a 5-minute job in having a place where you put paperwork. So if it comes through the door, it goes in there. If you print something out, it goes in there. And it's that thing of it doesn't go anywhere else, because I got something in the post yesterday and then Dave picked it up off the staircase yesterday. And now it's by the cooker. And you just think, if I didn't do that, I've created myself so many jobs in moving that around the house. If I'd have just had that one place to put it, that means I'm going to then eventually look at it, it would be great. And then I suppose the thing would be to have a process in place as well that means 15 minutes on a Friday, you actually go through that pile of stuff and work out, then is it going in the bin? Does it have to go in your proper filing system because it's something to do with your house or your business or whatever? Or are you actually going to deal with it? So all of those little processes just take such a little bit of time, but would save me so much time as well if I actually had that in place.
I've found that. I'm gonna show you something. So I have a Sunday basket, and I'll link to, I can't remember the lady who started these off, And I was the same. So I had charity bags there and bills and, what do you mean we've got an appointment tomorrow? And there was just bits of paper everywhere. So then I would spend, again, 3 hours putting things in the diary and shredding that. And, oh, that was due in a week ago. Never mind, it's fine, I'll email them. And it was just that sort of thing. So I've got a 2-layered basket. I'm not sure if you can see that. And everything gets dumped in the front. So everything just gets dumped in there. So the post comes in, it goes in there. Everything just goes in there. And then once a week, I sit down and there's a little filing system at the back. So I will go through and I've got my to-dos, a section for all the family, things they need to do, and a filing section. So this is where I weed everything out. And having this in place, taken me a few weeks to remember to use it, but I now have it in my calendar and it goes, oi, go and sort it. So I now have no paper clutter. So my files are sorted, everything comes into one place, and then I sit down and I put things in the diary, I fill in the forms, or if it's a big piece of work, I'll schedule that into my week and it's done. And having that process, but even now the kids will take the post out the door and they'll shove it in the basket. Yes, winner.
Amazing. That's really good. And especially, as I say, if you've got the kids to do it as well, that's fantastic. Because you did mention when you first started talking about, it is a lot to do with keeping doing it. And if there's a lot of articles out there about reluctant clutterers and how you've got to go unclutterers, sorry, and you've got to go steady with certain people that are not, you know, keen on the idea, and, you know, ease them in gently, you know, like that thing of you make it think it's their idea and things like that. But this is another thing. If you can actually educate them to then do it as well, then just, you know, fantastic, because it's giving them something to do that then you don't have to do as well. Love it. Yeah. So what other storagey type things have you been looking at that you've sort of created or put in place or changed up? Or
well, first of all, the one thing I was determined not to do was to go and buy storage.
Yes.
Because otherwise you end up with storage clutter. So, you know, you go to B&M or you go on a plastic store, or you buy these lovely baskets and then you have to fill them. So we've not bought, I don't think we've bought anything apart from the basket, the Sunday basket. I don't think we've actually bought any containers. So what we've decided to do is to purge and sort first, because then you actually work out 9 times out of 10, especially if you've been down the decluttering route before, you've got containers. And if you don't, I mean, I've got 2 containers at the top of my ladder desk. They're nice dark green shoe boxes. I don't need to go and buy anything else. So that was a big thing, not going and buying other storage solutions.
Yeah, I mean, some of the guides out there, they do talk about having, when you make piles. So obviously one of the things we'll all be doing is doing things like, well, that can go in the bin, that needs rehoming in my house, but this isn't just the right place for it. That can go to charity. And then some of them have another box, which I think is mad, and it's that can go into storage. So then that goes into your storage facility. I just think, if it's going into a storage facility, really? And I sort of get, you know, that we might have spring, summer, winter, whatever clothes. So you sort of do that. Does anybody do that we've got watching? Do you do that thing of you just have your summer stuff in the wardrobe and you put your winter stuff away and then you alternate it? Yeah, I sort of get people that do that because then it can give you more space to see it, and it can be spread out what you've got to choose through. Or you could just have it, I suppose, half a wardrobe and half a wardrobe or whatever. But this thing of having a storage container somewhere to put stuff in is blowing my mind slightly. And you're paying for it, exactly. You're paying for somebody else to store your clutter. I mean, what you could possibly be putting in there that you don't need. I just don't, as I said, that's just me, and maybe it's because I don't already have a lot of stuff. And I mean, we've even done this in the loft. In the loft now, it is literally just the stuff that is going to go to a car boot eventually, and the Christmas decorations. We've got it down to that now. And that feels good, because the stuff that we had up there, and it was all that, well, I quite like it and I might use it one day. No, I won't. It's been up there for 6 months, 12 months, and I've never used it yet. So yeah, that whole storage thing is a big thing. And again, like you say, if you created a brand new room in your house and you had storage and cupboards, and then you put baskets on top of things, you will just fill them.
Oh, you will, and it'd be beautiful, but it's not necessary.
No, you would just literally fill them.
We found as we've gone round and we've got rid of things, we haven't missed anything.
Yeah.
And the amount of stuff that we had absolutely baffled me. So the kitchen we've done, and I couldn't understand why, because it's my teen's job to do the dishwasher. And I used to come and say, why are the dishes everywhere? Oh, the dishwasher's full. How are the dishes everywhere if the dishwasher is full? So we got everything out and went 1, 2, 3, 4, 17, 18, 19 mugs. That's why. Why have we got 19 mugs? Why have we got 3 wooden spoons? Why is that part for the juice thing in there when we haven't used it for 4 months? If we haven't used it for 4 months, do we need it? So by getting rid of all of that, it makes my life easier. So I don't walk into the kitchen and go, get really raggy and artsy and all the rest of it. And it just means that all the chores, instead of taking this long, take this long, and nothing gets put off. But nothing that we've got, there's nothing that we've got rid of that we miss.
You miss,
or nothing's gone that made our lives particularly easier, which makes me wonder why we had them in the first place. It was stuffitis. We had stuffitis.
As we all do. Yeah. And obviously, if you're purging stuff and you're getting rid of stuff that you don't need, it should create enough space within the home that you've got to then relocate other things and actually put them in their place. And we did touch again on this a bit on Monday, and there's another tip coming out in something that I'll be sharing later on in the week. I think it might be tomorrow, that's talking about having almost a middle ground box, because you don't quite know where to put it yet. And it might be that eventually you do clear somewhere, so you might end up with an empty drawer, that is a more appropriate place for it. I added this into the comment that I made as well. There was a great piece on the news the other morning. The Natural History Museum in London is closed at the minute, and there was a guy on there that works in the fish department, which I thought was quite funny. But one of his jobs is he's going around all these areas at the minute where they have things in pickle jars, and the majority of them are fish, and it's very weird. So one of his things is to make sure that everything's on, actually good form in these areas that we don't normally see. But then it's also freeing him up time to go around the entire place and open cupboards up and seeing what has been shoved in there and shouldn't be in there. And he said that's the highlight of his day, finding something that's been shoved in a cupboard somewhere that shouldn't be there and then actually putting it where it should be. And I was like, yes. That's quite amazing. So he was finding a pickled squid in the science area or whatever, and was actually putting it in the squid area where it should have been.
Pickled squid in the science area?
I mean, just because people shove things in cupboards. So that's maybe something we should set as a challenge. Open a cupboard up and see today what you've actually got in there that shouldn't be in there, and actually get rid of your pickle squid into the right area. Make sure it's not in the wrong area it should be. So what else have you been doing, Nikki? What else tips wise have you got for us?
So house-wise, the reason that we've done this isn't just so that we have a nice, easy house and that we cut down on our chores and all the rest of it. It's very much about freeing up headspace. So while the house is pretty much well underway, I've moved on to digital minimalism and digital decluttering. And oh my word, what a difference that's made. So at the beginning of the year, I deleted all the people I was following on Twitter. That was the first thing I did, which was quite brave because I've been, with Twitter for a long time, and I assumed everybody would unfollow me, and actually they didn't. All that noise disappeared. And then I think I follow 25 people now. And those are the people on there at the moment. I mean, I'll add more that I want to see, that there is value in me seeing. Brilliant. So that means there's less dings, there's less noise. And that's just one social media account. And then I hit my email box and I've got rid of, so I know you mentioned this the other day. So I've unsubscribed to loads of things. I've unfollowed pages and people on Facebook. I've taken notifications off my phone. I've set, I don't know what they call it, a digital well-being timer. So it goes off at a certain time. Everything turns grey so that I can't be messing about and looking. So by taking the lead for how nice it felt in the house, I've moved it into my business. And what that's done, it's not as interesting to be on Facebook anymore. And it's not as interesting to be on Instagram. So I can stick to the times I'm setting. So I'm like, I'm going to spend 15 minutes on Instagram there, 15 minutes there. At the beginning of the week, I put my social media, that's fine. So that frees up time I'm using on networking, and I'm using on actual doing client work and other things that I need to do to grow my business. Because that's what it is at the end of the day. You know, that's what we're all here trying to do, to feel better, to be happier, and to grow our businesses. And what a difference that's made. And there is no FOMO. I don't feel like I'm missing. In fact, if anything, I feel quite special because I'm missing out. And people, like you'd said the other day, people say, oh, did you see that? And I go, nah. And by the time, you know, I think about maybe I should look that up, they're saying, now have you seen this? And I think, well, you know, I'm not missing it.
No.
No, so we've really sort of moved from the physical decluttering and then the, you know, the digital decluttering. And now we're at that stage now where we're really working on systems. So for everything that comes in the house, something has to leave. I mean, that means that if I get something really shiny and brilliant and expensive, Roy might need to move out. But generally speaking, if we stick to that 1 in, 1 out rule, I'm not finding homes, I'm not moving things or hiding things. So that's where we are at the moment. But more than anything, for us, it's about being forgiving and realizing that the reason that I am decluttering constantly is because I'm a lazy slob. You know, and that's fine, because that's I would rather spend time curled up with my kids, and I would rather spend time working on my business than I don't own an iron. Never owned an iron for years. If it doesn't come out the tumble dryer with a shake, then it's the wrong kind of material. So yeah, I'm a lazy slob, and because I now accept that, I'm finding the paths of least resistance, and that's you know, and it works. I'm making it easier for me to be lazy without any of the repercussions.
Love it, absolutely love it, because I totally agree. We should own just sitting and doing nothing. We should own just spending that time that we want to spend doing whatever it is, doing it. And there's nothing worse than sitting there thinking, oh God, but I need to do this and I need to do that. You've got to own it properly and actually enjoy the time that you're doing it. That's amazing. Love it.
If anyone sort of, if that strikes a chord with anybody, look up Clutter. She's on YouTube and she's often on people's podcasts, and she's the same. She calls herself, I think it's a reformed slob. She'll always be a slob. I now teach other people how to organize their homes, but I still have a junk drawer, and that's okay. And it's a real way of looking at it. If you go on Pinterest and you go on Instagram, it shows you how perfect. I mean, I love the home edit, but there's no way I could ever maintain anything that beautiful. So get rid of it all. I don't need to.
Yeah, I love the home edit too. I mean, it's amazing what they do, but I think it's just another level that I'm not quite wanting to go to.
It's extra work to keep on top of it.
Yeah, it's a little bit too much. And the money it costs to actually do it, like you say, it's a little bit ridiculous. So no, anything that you can get rid of, and just have that box of stuff that's like, I'm just going to shove it there for now and work out where it's going to go, or it's just going to go in the bin. That's absolutely fine. Or, you know, if you're not sure as to what to do with something, but yeah, finding other spaces to put things is one thing. Actually having to have too much stuff to fill the space that you've got is just or
just shuffling it around the house.
Yeah,
we were doing that. So our bedroom would feel, because our bedroom tends to be a catch-all, the washing comes in there to be folded while I'm watching something, and this, that and the other, and it literally got to the point where I thought, no, I'm going to sort my bedroom. And I sorted that bedroom by moving everything to every other space, and then everyone else had the same feeling of moving everything back into my bedroom because all the stuff was in their space. And it's when you get to that point that you realize, yeah, we're not doing things right.
yeah, totally get you. Some fantastic ideas there. Fantastic. So just we're into the last 10 minutes of today's session. Is there anything else you'd like to add in before we open it up to see if anybody's got any questions?
Yeah, just to enjoy it and not to feel like you have to do it all at once. I mean, yes, I'm aiming for minimalism. That's our goal. That's what we're wanting to do as a family. For other people, it's just wanting to get some stuff out the house, to not have to realize that you've got three, you know, that you can have 3 washing baskets full, or that you can have a dishwasher full and stuff on the side. It's just about finding what works for you, not necessarily what looks best on Instagram.
Yes.
And then once you've got to that stage, if you want to do more, that's fine. But just do what works for you, the things that irk you, the stuff that you see out the corner of your eye and go, mm.
Yeah.
And once you've nailed that, you will feel so much better. And there's no rush to do it either, but to enjoy it.
Great tips there. Great tips. Well, thank you so much for that this morning, Nicki. We're going to close the recording now for those that are on catch up, and for those that are here live, we'll go to a Q&A. If you are watching on catch up and you have any questions, we'll stick some links in the video later, Nicki, you and I, the things that you've been just talking about to go and have a look at. But if you do have any questions, you can obviously drop Nicki a message, you can drop me a message, or you can post a comment below and we'll get back to you. Thanks ever so much.